Hello everybody, Gamer here. Today we're playing Fallout 76. As you can tell, I am already a bit leveled in this. I'm level 21 to be exact. And today I'm going to be going over the do's and don'ts and other survival tips for what to do to help you survive in the Wasteland. First, questionable thing to do. If you look in the top right there, approach a Deathclaw and try to make friends. We're going to figure out if this is a do or don't right off the bat, before I get into any top-notch guides. They're not really top-notch, they're just whatever I do. Just gotta make sure that we are well hydrated and fed. Alright. Keep that handy. And yeah, let's hope the Deathclaw wants to make friends. This is a horrible idea. This is a horrible, horrible idea. How am I even supposed to make friends with the Deathclaw? Well, that answers your question. It is a very, very, very bad idea.
I don't blame you for turning tail and running like a coward. Hey, you're a... Moving on. The Blackwater Bandits are known for being sneaky thieves. Let me tell you, they once hit a...
Jesus, why am I doing this?
Insane, right? They snuck right past the guards...
Emphasis on do's and don'ts. Do pick your fights wisely. Don't do what I'm doing.
Next thing you know, the knights moved on out with their tails between their legs, and we had a new arsenal. Well, the Brotherhood's gone, but we still have heavily armed super mutants. Go steal from them.
I'm remembering the fucking insta-kill move from Fallout 4, and that's all I'm waiting for.
Their gun stash might be a good haul, might not. There's only one way to find out.
The fact that this is working, though. I'm probably gonna edit this bit out. Those are rocks. Okay, that's not gonna run past me like I didn't just see that. I saw that rock floating in midair. Side note for the tip that I just gave you, if you are going to go and pick stupid fights, have a strategy. Okay, let's actually get somewhere where I can explain in depth what you should do to survive the Wasteland. Let's head down to Babyland. Okay, we are down here in Babyland, so I'm going to set myself up a little bit. So, first things first. When you get out of the Wasteland, it's going to give you your main little quest, which is the Overseer's Guide. That will send you to about... Come on. That will send you to right here, just partially southeast from the vault. It's also, the vault is where you decide where your first perk is. It's also decide how you're going to try and play it out. The most you're going to get when you walk out of that vault is a machete. Use it wisely. You only have one. Also, when you get into the vault, you're going to be given some food and water, because in this one, you are forced to play on survival mode. Everything has weight. Bullets, medicine, everything. Which means if you loved the way that you played in Fallout 3, New Vegas, or 4, and you walked around with a rocket launcher everywhere, you have to worry about that now. Because now missiles, the actual missiles themselves, weigh 2 pounds apiece. Back in the other games, it was only mini nukes that had weight. Now, it's everything. Like, for example, 308 weighs 0.006 of a pound, 0.45003 of a pound, and yada yada yada. Okay, so if you really... okay, so... moving on. Sitting around doesn't really do you any favors. Unless, of course, you're playing an instrument or sleeping. If you're playing an instrument, you'll get well-tuned, which gives you bonus AP regen. If you're sleeping, that gives you well-rested, which gives you a 5% XP bonus for an hour. Hour to 2 hours in real time. You see these flashing hexagons. These are events. These pop up randomly. There is no main storyline unless you count the Overseer's logs as the main storyline. And let me just flash some perks here for a minute. The perk system is different. Instead of assigning points to tell you how good you are at something, you build them naturally. As you can notice, I'm prioritizing perception, intelligence, and luck. Mostly because I believe that luck was amazing back in the other games, intelligence just because of the XP, and perception because I'm going to see you coming from a mile away. I'm actually going to take that off. And... fuck yeah, concentrated fire. Get old VATS back. Now, you'll notice things like pack rat are still there, pick locking is still there, and like gunsmith and first aid is still there. But other stuff that you have to keep in mind of. Traveling pharmacy reduces the weight of all your chems. And you have pack and light. Pistols now weigh less. Can do. 60% chance to find extra canned goods when you search a food container. The reason I say that is because... the only reason I took that is because, as you can see, I was also running a perk called Good Doggy, which the eating dog food is now 3 times as beneficial. And so if I wanted to, I could swap either Good Doggy or Dromedary off and throw on Slow Metabolizer. Although it's just the food version of Dromedary, which just means that all drinks quench thirst by additional 25%. You turn into a camel. If you're playing with friends, Inspirational is mandatory. Don't care what build you're running, Inspirational is mandatory. Just playing with a team, you get bonus XP. Let's see here. PvP. In case it wasn't explained enough, I'll give you my take on it. PvP is kind of iffy. You unlock it at level 5, and that allows you to officially fight with everybody else who's playing. Excuse me for the yawn. Everybody else who's playing, so long as they are over level 5. So if you're walking around, you see... let's find a rookie here. If you see... tiny old Slick Pup here at level 3, and you're over here Rickanax at level 12, you won't be able to interact with him violently. You have to wait till he gets to level 5. You could stalk him around a bit, but that's just creepy. You're gonna be like the Mothman. Also, yes, the Mothman is in here. This does take place in West Virginia, and apparently the Mothman is a massive rumor here. I'm gonna go hide in the bathroom because I don't feel like getting shot at. Not to say I was getting shot at, but just in case. Also, toilet paper seems to have thrived just fine. Don't know why. Anyways, you're always gonna start off with a absolute garbage carrying capacity unless you're running major strength. You need stuff like pocketed things to deal with that. Also, it says I'm wearing road leathers, but it looks like I'm wearing a skiing suit. That's because I went to the Atom shop and I put on the clean skiing outfit. It's literally just an overlay. You throw this on, it takes priority over everything else, but it does not take it away. It's literally just design. Okay, apparently I'm very tired. Now, you get to pick your gear. Gear is level locked. Starting off, you'll have the machete, which does not have a level. Then you'll start finding stuff like 10mm pistols, hunting rifles, pipe guns, shotguns. Everything drops things differently. If you want pipe weapons, hunting rifles, 10 millimeters, and shotguns, you're going to want to fight Scorched. Scorched are kind of like the new Raiders. They're like a combination between Ghoul and Raiders. You can find them in the Morgantown Airport, Poseidon Energy Plant, and scattered about dozens of other areas throughout the entire map. They're amazing for those in particular. Yep, I appear to be locked behind the bathroom door. Okay. I'm going to wander over to a combat area and give you an example of an enemy. We're just going to head up here to the relay tower. Also, fast traveling costs caps now. You can't just zip everywhere like pew, 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 pew. No, you got to pay for that. And caps are a pain to come across unless you have Scrounger or whatever the perk is that allows you to find slightly or many more caps. Alright, so these are going to be super mutants. They're not all they're hopped up to be until higher levels. They're actually kind of squishy. Early on. Basic super mutants you can take on with the little 10mm pistol you find at the start. Other super mutants, you're going to have to start finding more advanced weaponry. Okay, I just had a case of potato aim. Alright, as you can see, basic super mutant, level 5. See if we can't find anybody special laying around. Nope, another regular super mutant. Can we get a skirmisher or a fighter or something? Yep, super mutant fighter. You see how he has that crown over his head? He's the boss of this area, which means he's gonna have better loot and more of it. Also, they brought back the whole factor of condition from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Although I don't think there's a jury rigging perk from Fallout New Vegas, so you can't take something similar and fix it up. So you can't take a hunting rifle and fix your combat rifle with it. Alright, so you see how much loot that guy basically had? He had next to nothing, right? Walk over here to Mr. Fighter, who had a crown over his head. He's got a lot more. Also, over-encumbered is slightly different. You can still run around, so long as you have AP.
Ooh, what'd you find?
Just gonna let her talk here.
Roger? Bet you could got some real damage with that. Ooh. Whatever you picked up, keep it. You've earned it. Okay, this one's a little disgusting, but it's ruthless, so I like it. Ugh, my stomach turns just thinking about this. Then again, I haven't been hungry in a while, so who knows how desperate I'll be when I am and there's no more food to eat. Kinda like the gourmands. We called them that instead of what they really were. Cannibals. I'm not gonna make you eat anyone, but let's go through the exercise anyway. I saw a roaming pack of feral ghouls I want you to hunt down. They're always good for target practice anyway. I'm not saying the gourmands had the right idea. Ugh. But no one can claim they went hungry eating human or ex-human flesh. Just use a toothpick or something before you come back to visit. I don't want to catch a whiff of rotting ghoul flesh on your breath.
Okay, so apparently she thinks we're going to eat ghouls. While there is the cannibalism perk, I'm pretty sure you don't want to eat a ghoul because that's a lot of radiation. And suddenly your bar will start ticking down, and suddenly everything will start sounding like, now that's a lot of damage. Insert meme here because I don't know how to do it. I'm not that good at editing just yet. Okay, now where does she want us to go to find ghouls? Really far out, apparently. All the way down here. I could kill so many other feral ghouls just littering this area, but she wants me to go all the way down there in particular. Okay. Here's an example of Scorch. They look like this. It can be a basic Scorch, they can be a Zealot, Believer, Wanderer, yada yada. This is just a level area. Basic Scorched are typically just level 1. They fall over with 1 tap. Obviously, that was going to be a 1 tap because I was sneaking and he didn't know I was there. Try it again. Ran out of AP. Also, I was potatoing really hard. That was a Scorched Wanderer. They go down with 1 tap with specific weapons. Canned dog food. Always want that. Because of my good boy perk. Or, yeah, the good boy perk. It's like that little vine where it's like, kid used, random good boy appeared. Kid used Intimidate. It didn't do shit. Alright, weapons workbench. Pretty self-explanatory. Hold up, there's still people here. Anywho, weapons workbench. Pretty self-explanatory. You can only use weapons-based items here. Recoil compensating. Ooh, that durability is so much better. I think I'm actually going to have to go with this. I need adhesive. Yeah, adhesive is another thing. It's very difficult to come across. As you can see, there's a variety of mods that I have access to here. Mods are very tricky. In order to get access to the mods, you have to scrap copies of everything, and every copy gives 1 mod. So for all these things that you see me having here, I had to scrap that many, I had to scrap that many hunting rifles or shotguns or whatever. I had to scrap a lot of things. Speaking of scrap, I have no junk, so scrap that. Gotta keep that. Have to scrap this. That's my new favorite. And I can't repair it. What am I at now? 80 of 90. Alright, so I'm not gonna go on to this quest. I'm gonna try and do a bit more. I'm gonna try and do a bit more to get you guys into the whole setup. Cooking station. These are gonna be your best friend when it comes to actually making food. Let's see what I'm gonna be making right now. Deathclaw steak gives me +2 strength, restores 60 HP, still gives rads. Food will always still give you rads even if you cook it. It's not going to be like Fallout 4 or 3 or whatever variant where if you cook something, all the rads are gone. Tinker's Workbench. These are my personal favorite. These are where you come to make all the ammo. What you need is mostly gunpowder, lead, and steel. For some things, you need a bit more. Like, say, just lead, or adhesive and aluminum, acid and aluminum. Just cloth and rubber, plastic. Everything needs something. Then there's bulk. These are amazing. You always want to try and make bulk of whatever it is that you have. Which will almost 9 times out of 10 require plastic. Bulk lead is going to be your best friend. And sometimes the game will bug, and even though you left, it'll still send you right back in. Also, you can make mini nukes. Nuclear material, pain in the ass to find. Keep attached to it. There are no raiders, unlike all of the other Fallout games. They seem to be all dead, except for the person in my head who's all the way up at top of the world. It's a ski resort. It's not literally the top of the world. And what else? Let's see. Camp. Okay, so I'm going to travel to my camp. Just so I can show you my amazing design. Fast traveling to your camp is free. Doesn't cost a single cap. Might cost you your life depending on where you've put it and the areas reinfest themselves. Alright, so this is my camp. As you can tell, I have all the necessities. Anyways, jokes aside. This is like the, this is like the, places in Fallout 4, the settlements. Except you don't have Preston Garvey every 10 seconds telling you another settlement needs your help. Apparently, there are assholes trying to come to my camp. I was a super mutant skirmisher. They take a lot of damage. They're not tanks like your typical super mutant. I'm just gonna pluck his corpse. I'm gonna go hide behind a rock or something. These are your settlements. Although, unlike most settlements, you don't just have access to everything. You actually have to find plans. Pretty self-explanatory. Plans help you build things, and there's no limit to what you can build. Although, if you want to build a weapons workbench, and you want to switch how it looks, you need to find the plan for that workbench in particular. Okay, food and water. These are always going to be under aid. Pretty typical. Also, bobbleheads are still here. They just give slight bonuses. They don't just give permanent bonuses. They're always temporary. Your choice of food will always be something to do. They also fall in line with perks. Like, I have Dromedary and Good Doggy. Eating dog food is now 3 times as beneficial, and all drinks quench thirst by an additional 25%. Normally, what is it? Dog food would restore 10% food and only restore 25 HP. Since I have Good Doggy, 30, and 75, and only gives 1 rad. Awesome. And I have boiled water almost all the time, because then I make tea. Tea still gives you rads, but since I'm running Dromedary, so I'm a human camel, it gives me 18%. Then there's also purified water, which I still have yet to actually make any. I've always found mine. You need boiled water and a water filter. Apparently water filters are very difficult to come across, because I still have yet to come across one, or I'm just blind. Or my, you know, luck isn't paying off despite having 8. Ammo count. You have to be very, very careful, because these have weight, like I explained at the beginning. You can't just go carrying everything around. So what I'm going to do is actually shred the ammo that I'm not using. Not using this. Not using this. Not using this. Not using this. Scroll all the way over to my ammo. Not using flares. Not using fusion cells or plasma cartridges. And I've probably shred like all of 3 pounds. I'm gonna store all my junk, shred an additional 2 pounds. Obviously, notes never weigh anything. Holotapes never weigh anything, apparently. Miscellaneous. Some of the stuff is quest locked, you can tell by the little diamond. Alright, I want to try and keep this video under half an hour, so I'm actually going to cut it off here. If you guys want more tips, just let me know, and